It is 6 p.m., you just got home from work, and you are tired. And especially because you had a bad day at work today, you decide to go to McDonald's, watch some TV, and scroll on TikTok for the whole night. And keep in mind, you were probably doing this for the past month because you're so tired after work. But I know that you lay awake at night wondering if you can live out life and build that dream business that you've always wanted, but only if you had enough energy, only if you had enough time. Hi, my name is Jasmine, and on this channel, we talk all about becoming the woman of your dreams and building a life that you absolutely love. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to build your dream life while working a 9-to-5 job. I know a lot of people who glorify this life of, I'm just gonna quit my job, I'm not gonna have any savings, no income, and I'm just gonna build this dream business. But that actually creates way more stress financially, and it makes it really hard to build something meaningful. And plus, most of us have responsibilities like paying off a mortgage, taking care of your kids. Having this responsibility may not always give us that opportunity to quit our jobs. With the tips that I'm going to share in this video, I have found that working a 9-to-5 can be a very powerful way to generate and accelerate the growth of your business. We're going to be going through mindset shifts, time management, energy management, how to create more time in your day so you can not only work that 9-to-5, but you can also live and build the life of your dreams. I've also included chapters for this video so you can skip around. You can also find the timestamps in the description below. And if you are somebody who's ready to do the real work, I'm not just talking about watching these videos, but actually transforming. I provide in-depth worksheets for every single one of my videos. In these worksheets, I provide in-depth journaling prompts as well as practical exercises to help you start removing your limiting beliefs and to write out an action plan so you can start living out as your highest self today. You can access these worksheets down in the description below. Now let's dive into the video. Tip number 1 is to ride the high waves of your energy levels. Throughout the day, we all have different energy levels. So for me, I know that I am the most energized 1 hour after I wake up. So after I have my coffee, after I've done my morning routine, and I feel energized, motivated, and ready for the day. And I also find that I am the least productive. I'm the least energized after work because I have no energy to give. But everyone is different because there are some people that are more energized at night. There are some people that are more energized in the morning. There are some people that are more energized after they work out or more energized after they have their coffee. So it is really important to understand which category that you fall under. If you're not sure where your energy levels are at, just spend one day and to write out a graph and to make note of when your energy levels are the highest, when they're kind of medium, or when they're lowest. Because working on your dream business is such a massive and important investment in your future, you need to make sure to ride the highs and work on those daunting projects where you have the most resistance. You want to make sure you work on those projects during your high levels. In the past, I've tried blocking out my time after 6 p.m. to work on my business, but I found that after 6, I had no mental energy to do anything. So in the end, I had to shift my schedule to wake up earlier and to have more time in my mornings because I know I'm the most productive, I'm the most creative, I am the most energized in the morning. So I ended up using that time to work on my scripts, to work on my YouTube videos. So a question that I want you to honestly ask yourself is it truly possible for me to work on my dream business after work? Because in theory, a lot of people think they can, but by the time it gets to 6 p.m., we are depleted. Sometimes we have a bad day at work, and those things are so out of our control. And when you're working from a depleted energy source, of course you're not going to feel motivated. Of course you're not going to want to think hard. Of course you're not going to want to work because you have no energy to work. So if you know that you are the most energized in the morning, my next tip is going to help you, which is set an alarm for when you want to sleep. If you want to wake up earlier, the problem is not because you're not a morning person, it's just because you don't sleep early enough. You need to be disciplined with when you sleep because that is what you have the most control out of. When you're groggy in the morning, when you only had 6 hours of sleep, of course you're gonna keep sleeping, right? Your body needs that extra hour. On top of that, after work, you are going to be so tired. And what happens is that your brain is going to seek out and make decisions that require the least amount of resistance. So you're gonna grab your phone and scroll on TikTok for 4 hours. You're gonna go and watch Netflix for 3 hours. And at the end of the day, after burning 7 hours of consuming content and not bringing any value into your own life, how are you gonna feel? You're gonna feel guilty. You're gonna feel tired. Your dopamine is low. You have no motivation. So what you end up doing is you end up wasting your time when you could have used that time to sleep earlier. So if you're tired after work, the simple solution is to just quickly make yourself dinner when you get home, go through your evening routine, and to get to bed at around 9 or 9:30. If you want to start waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, you need to set an alarm for when you go to bed. And yes, there are going to be people, your friends are going to ask you to hang out at 10 p.m. at night, but your dreams require sacrifice. You can't do it all. Tip number 3 is to use your 9 to 5 to automate and fund your dream business. Your time, in this case, is the most valuable resource. It's actually not your money so much, but it is really your time. Your 9 to 5 is already taking up majority of your life, majority of your day, majority of your energy. So I want you to start shifting your mindset around spending money to save time, because if you're thinking about your current processes right now, are you trying to do everything by yourself just to save a couple of dollars? Now, let me ask you another question. What if by just spending $10 a month, you get to your dream life and your dream business, you get to that endpoint faster? Maybe you save even 5 months because you spent that $10 every single month. You need to start seeing that as an investment rather than just burning cash. There is a really big difference in this scenario. For me, I invest in an editor because it used to take me around 5 hours to just edit a video. But I've also been aware of myself because I know that editing has been one of the biggest blocks and the biggest obstacles from me even wanting to film, for me to even write a script. So if I can solve that problem with $20, $25 to get someone to help me edit, then I would be able to reach my goal much faster. And I have found that hiring an editor has actually helped me become more consistent on YouTube, and that's why I was able to grow faster than a lot of people. So what can help you with your business? Do you want to hire an editor or a freelancer to take some of those tasks off your plate? Do you want to buy a software to help you automate certain tasks? Or do you want to buy a meal prep kit so that you don't have to think about what you eat that day? When you put this into practice and you start buying back your time, you're going to find that you are going to have so much more energy, so much more time, and you're going to have that capacity to make actions and decisions to move your business forward. Tip number 4 is to know the opportunity cost of your day job. As we've talked a lot about in this video, you need to make time for your dream business, which means time is a huge factor in this. This means we need to start considering the question, is there a way to create more capacity and more time while working my job? So we're talking about maybe gaps throughout the day during our 9 to 5 where we can work on our business. Let's run through some scenarios here. So if your job is a 2-hour-long commute, is there a way for you to get a job that may be closer, or is there a way for you to get a fully remote job or a hybrid job? Because if you think about this, 1 hour commute equates to 2 commute hours unpaid, so you're not even getting compensated for these 2 hours. You want to really think about, is there an opportunity cost with those 2 hours that I'm commuting to work? Or you recently got promoted, so congratulations, and you got a slight pay bump, but you're getting so much more work and there's so much more stress on the table. Is that marginal pay bump really worth the time and energy that you're spending in your job, where you could be using that time and energy towards your business? You also want to evaluate the opportunity cost of that. So now let's say that you are now working at a very prestigious firm, but you're working over 100 hours every single week and you barely have the energy to rest on the weekends. Would you consider opting out, working at a smaller firm, working 40 hours a week, maybe even accept a pay decrease, but at least you still have the time and capacity to work on the things that matter to you. The mindset here is that you need to create time for yourself. You cannot heavily rely on your job for your well-being anymore. And times are changing and the job market is shifting. The job market is becoming more and more unpredictable. We can't bet on our jobs anymore because you working on your dream business is investing in yourself. It's investing in your freedom, investing in the stability that you've always wanted and craved for yourself. And I know that you might not even want to change jobs or make these shifts because it's just a blow to the ego, right? If you're getting paid decrease when you can get a higher pay, why wouldn't you go for that? But it's a very short-term move. But that's not to say to quit your job but to have no financial backing, because when you create your business from a place of financial insecurity, financial instability, you will not even have the creative energy to create something meaningful and sustainable, because nothing good ever gets created from that kind of mindset. Tip number 5 is to start getting comfortable with saying no to people. Stop letting FOMO get the best of you. Stop saying yes just to people please. Stop saying yes because you're afraid people will hate you, because you need to prioritize your business like a little baby. Your business is a baby because especially in the first couple months or years of your business, you're going to be building important foundations, important systems in place. So that means it's going to take up a lot more time than you think. So stop thinking you can do it all, because you can't build a new life with your old life. And this journey is going to feel lonely or isolated sometimes. So if you still want to keep in touch with friends, I highly recommend having a goal where you see one friend every single week, just to catch up with them, make sure they're doing okay, so that you still have those important connections around you. Tip number 6 is to listen to successful people during your in-between moments. Your in-between moments could include commutes, going back and forth from work. It could be going out and grabbing coffee. It could be going on a short walk outside. So during these in-between moments, listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts of successful people talking about their lives, talking about their mindset, talking about their strategies. The reason why this is important is because number 1, it's important to accumulate as much information as possible, but number 2, you are the average of the top 5 people that you hang out with. And if your current circle right now aren't filled with successful people, you can surround yourself with successful people by listening to more successful people. The more that you listen to their language, the more you listen to their mindset, the way they view things, that knowledge and wisdom will get transferred to you, and you will become more and more like that kind of person. And as you go through this transitionary period, there will be old friendships that you no longer align with. These would be people that you no longer resonate with. So you're going to end up losing those friendships. And over time, the types of people that you attract are going to be vastly different, because you're going to start attracting people that are into self-development, that are into entrepreneurship, and you're going to grow so much more because you're surrounded by amazing people. Tip number 7 is to start setting 12-week goals rather than 1-year goals. I read the book The 12-Week Year earlier this year, and it has completely changed my life. And it has changed my relationship around goal setting as well. I was someone that kept setting goals, but I was never actually able to get to them. 1-year goals are bound to fail because 1-year goals is so far in advance. It's so far ahead of you that you're going to have this urge to procrastinate until it gets to November and December. Number 2 is that when we set 1-year goals, we tend to overinflate how much we can accomplish within that 1 year. And while I am all for dreaming big and living your full potential, it is so overwhelming to see that 1-year goal in front of your face and feeling overwhelmed by how much you need to do and how much you need to accomplish by tomorrow. And what you end up doing is you go through analysis paralysis, you go through inaction, and you don't end up doing anything at all. 12-week goals have been completely life-changing for me because goals became exciting, goals became doable, and I was no longer in this place of analysis paralysis, but I was constantly in action mode. And for every day that I miss, it keeps me accountable because 12 weeks isn't that far off. It feels close enough that I know that I don't have any more time to waste. Tip number 8 is to only put down one thing that you need to do today. A huge mistake that a lot of people make is they tend to put 20, 30 things on their to-do list, they get overwhelmed, and they don't do anything at all. The mindset shift that you need to see here is that you can't overwhelm yourself when it comes to your goals. Because yes, they're going to be different, and yes, they may be hard, but overwhelming yourself will only make it even harder. So ask yourself the following question. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Making the decision to choose only one thing to work on is such a game changer because it helps you focus down on what it is that's going to help you move the needle forward. Yes, there will always be more to learn. Yes, there will always be admin tasks, but the task that you've been putting off for months, that's probably the task that you need to do right now. And you want this task to create a domino effect. So if you want to start applying it, go through this list and just circle one thing that you want to accomplish today. And you'll find that once you accomplish that one thing, you are going to feel so energized, you're going to feel your dopamine at an all-time high, and you're going to feel motivated to want to tackle other harder tasks too. Stop overwhelming yourself and start thinking like a CEO. Be selective with how you spend your time. Tip number 9 is to remember your why and to also remember your consequences of not taking action. Now, having a list of these two things written down on a piece of paper is really important, and let me tell you why. To know your purpose and why will help you create amazing quality in the work that you do. But knowing the consequences of not taking action, of not building that dream business, that is actually gonna light a fire up your butt, and it's gonna get you to work. It's going to get you to build that momentum, build that discipline to show up. So they're both just as important. I want you to pull out a piece of paper, or I want you to go through my worksheets, and I want you to make 2 different lists. The first list, I want you to write down your deeper why. Why do you want to build this business? And this deeper why is not including, I want to make more money, or I just have this passion. Those are not real reasons. The real reasons are something that only you can relate to. For me, my deeper why with this channel is because I wish I had a female authority figure that taught me about mindset, that taught me about how much my self-worth mattered and how I can truly build a life of my dreams. And I want every woman to reach their own potential because I wish I had that person in my life that told me that I could do it, that told me and believed in me. And on the other hand, let's write down a list of your consequences of not taking action, of not building that business. Consequences are you're going to be working that really terrible job for the rest of your life and being told what to do. You are probably going to lack a lot of time with your future children, with your family because you're too busy working. Or maybe you've always had this dream of living it up in Europe, but you're stuck here working your job. Pain is a more powerful motivator than just positivity. So it's important that you incorporate why it is important for you to take action and what are the consequences of not doing it. And finally, tip number 10, you need to believe in yourself. No one can do that job for you. Only you can do that for you. When you believe in yourself, when you know that maybe not next month, maybe not next year, maybe not in the next 5 years, but you know that you believe in yourself so much that you are going to get to that end point no matter what. We can't wait for our partners, our families, our friends to believe in us because we're going to be waiting a long time. They may not see life the way that you do, but only you can change your mindset around that. And when you are finally on your side, when you are finally rooting for yourself, when you are finally your biggest cheerleader, things will change. You'll start showing up in the world differently. You will start taking those bold actions that you were once afraid of. And if you do not believe in yourself, I believe in you. There are people out there that have lived in poverty, that were able to go from nothing to $1 billion. So if they can do it, if they've lived that reality, why can't you? You are made up of the same atoms, you are made up of the same organs, you have the same brain as them, but it is your time to start believing in yourself that you have value to give to the world. Now we have reached the end of this video. I would love to know in the comments down below, what is one thing that has helped you balance your 9-to-5 routine and build your business at the same time? And if you are serious about implementing everything that I've shared in this video and shifting your life for the better, download my worksheets down below. And if you are on the journey of becoming the woman of your dreams and building the life that you love, check out my channel because I make a ton of videos about self-worth, money, relationships, literally all things high-value woman energy. And if you love this video, I highly recommend checking out this video over here. I dive into 10 habits to make your success automatic. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the end, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!